I mean, we might as well have the video game addiction talk while we're here.
Humans have progressed and now have access to all the shit they want whenever they want it. It's easy for them to overdo and have dopamine problems. You know, it's not fucking rocket science, this stuff.
Who classes gaming addiction as a real mental illness? Are you asking who does that, or are you, like, facetiously saying, who does that? I cannot tell.
Stay close, guys.
The World Health Organization, here to save all gamers. There's definitely a time when I felt it was weird. That engineer totally killbined. Or I thought it was like unacceptable to say video game addiction. But I think in the past 8 years we've seen. You can be addicted to anything, but gaming is one of the easiest to get addicted to since you can lose yourself due to depression. Yep, you're on the money. You're not wrong. I do like to talk about this because it's pretty fascinating and very relevant to our time. Funny ragdoll, making me go XD. Apparently people with ADHD can fall into addiction more easily than others. No, I totally believe that. As far as I can see it, that's what I... Oh! Hold on. I know we're having, like, a real conversation. I know we're having a real conversation right now. This is why I got so scared. Okay? He's not looking at me. He's like over here. Hold on. Why? VLC, please. VLC is so broken. Oh no, it's totally frozen. If I do it slowly, it won't crash. He's like, I don't exist in his world. It crashed on the same frame! What? Thank you, VLC. Very informative. Very informative. That scout transcended the MP4. Anyway, you've ever been addicted to a video game? I think gaming addiction is real just because of the concept of dopamine releasing, but also because I've met League of Legends players who have gotten a small form of arthritis we joked about, calling it gamer claw because of how fucked his hand got using an odd mouse. Yeah. I mean, it becomes a self-destructive behavior. It definitely... Anything... Oh my god. Oh, I can't believe I have to watch this. There we go. Anything where you, like, do it to the point where it's ruining your life and you can't stop doing it is an addiction. And really... See, the problem with having this conversation... The problem with having this conversation is a lot of people don't understand how dopamine works. Like... They should teach this in biology and science class, whatever class is relevant enough. And I always say, learn how dopamine works if you want to, you know, understand what's going on in your brain. But all you got to know is your dopamine releases when your brain thinks that a task was very valuable. And video games, your gameplay isn't centered in OBS. You're right. No, you're wrong. What are you? No, this is fine. I actually can't move it if I wanted to. I actually can't do anything to it. It's definitely... The bottom is cut off? Oh! Oh, gamers! Thank you! It's because I was in studio mode. It's because I was in studio mode and I didn't see that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to explain it. Guys, look up dopamine. It's... But I can't say that! Because if you look up dopamine, I don't even know what that brings up. It makes your brain think you're doing something valuable, but video games constantly make you release it. And so it's dangerous because your brain thinks video games are valuable, which they are in a certain way. But if you're vulnerable to a dopamine addiction, like you have ADHD, then your brain will be like, holy shit, we have to keep playing video games because it does the dopamine. This has to be important. And then you can't stop. And your brain is louder than your thoughts, if that makes sense. Video games are drugs. Dude, I don't even... You're joking, right? But video games are drugs. I'll be real with you guys. I, in particular, have an issue with card games. Because card games invoke the same dopamine loop that gambling does. Where you sit there and you're going like, oh, I want the card, I want the card. If I could only draw the card, then I'll win and it'll be a huge combo. Or like you barely win or something. So card games are a gambling addiction light. And I am super vulnerable to gambling addiction. I went through a poker phase for like 6 months. So I have a vendetta against card games. Online card games. I want to be clear that if you're playing Magic with your friends, it's... Wow, he was healthy as... Not healthy enough. If you're playing Magic with your friends in real life, that's fine. It's real interaction. But if you are in your room playing Magic the Gathering Arena online, I say that's really bad for you. And one of my biggest gripes with card games is that they're kind of like, again, they're like the sweets of video games. Refined sugar. They give you a high of like, yes, I drew the card, or like, woo, my combo went off, whatever. And you're all hyped up, but at the end of the day, what do you get out of playing card games? Like, actually, fuck, this game's really hard. I should stop playing Scout. You don't get anything out of card games other than maybe having a good understanding of how RNG works. Yeah, you get fun, LOL. I know, it's fun, but it's a really, like, self-contained fun. When you have fun in TF2, you're getting a little bit of, I know this is probably like a meme, but a little bit of hand-eye coordination. Your reaction speeds are being tested. Your ability to like communicate if you have voice chat on is being tested. If you're playing like competitive TF2, you are for sure being tested as a leader, as a communicator. You're interacting with people in a meaningful way. If you're addicted to Counter-Strike, Dota, like you get actual, like, I learned a lot from playing Dota in terms of how to lead people, is all I'll say. But I feel like card games, you just have like this crazy dopamine high of chasing the gambling and the winning, and then you have nothing to say for it afterwards. So that's why I really try to stay away from them. Hand-eye coordination, Pyro wants to know your location. Circling back, the guy that said video games are drugs, Monka S. I have had times when I discover a new card game, or like recently with the Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and I boot it up and I'm like, I'll play one game, and 12 hours later, I think one time I played like 24 hours in a row. It's almost like my brain suddenly wakes up and is like, where am I? How did I get here 20 hours later? And it feels like that time never existed. It feels like the time was gone. It feels like I was fucking high or something. It's really fucked. I think I'm especially vulnerable to this kind of dopamine cycling, but it's scary, guys. Don't play card games. I tell you about this neat drug I got addicted to called Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah. Guys, it's great. I spent 20 hours straight playing and failed my college course. You guys have to play this game. If you're playing with real people, or you're like, your passion is to be a competitive Magic the Gathering player, go ahead. But I feel like, for me, my passion is not Magic the Gathering, and yet I will get lost for days playing it and hate myself afterwards. And if that isn't like addictive drug behavior, I don't know what is. My passion is to be a competitive drug user. I imagine golf commentary. Oh, looks like he's gonna smoke the blunt. That seems to be some grade A kush. Yes, it does. It does seem to be. Shh, silence, silence. Oh, and he takes the fattest hit. He takes the fattest hit, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's reeling. And then you have the grassroots meth community who aren't getting any support from the developers. What the fuck? Stop shooting me. We're only here today because of our community, you guys. We're only here at Evo smoking meth because we came together and crowdfunded this. Big Pharma doesn't want to acknowledge us. But we're real, and we're here, and we're competing. You know what it should be is who can do the least meth. No, okay, that's actually fucked. I thought that would be more wholesome, but now I imagine a bunch of junkies like shaking, staring at a pile of this stuff. Lazy, you want to do meth? Hey, Adderall, am I right? God, I played so bad. I'm talking my ass off here. You think you're really getting addicted to TF2? Well, again, we have to normalize the conversation about dopamine. Every time you get a kill in TF2, you get dopamine. Your brain says, yes, good, victory, dominance. We must show our dominance. And your brain's like, do it again. And if you're not aware of that, yeah, you can sit there playing video games forever. It's rough, man. It's fucking weird being a human being. Luckily, I get dopamine from my academic pursuits. Like, I get an A, I feel my legs clench up, and my brain is like, fuck yeah, do it again. Good for you. That's so good for you. Honestly, if you can develop a sense of dopamine achievement from something that's good for you, like exercise, academic study, that's how the system in your brain is supposed to work. Your brain, the point of dopamine is to get you to keep doing things that are good for you, but we live in a society that abuses that. All this, you know, you hear about the social media and your phone and video games. It's all designed to hijack your dopamine loop that should be rewarding you for things like academic pursuit and all that. Lazy said society, I have to leave now. We live in a community! Is that better? We live in a co-op! That would actually be horrifying. Woo! Sucks to hate yourself, but it's part of learning to love yourself? Because why do you hate yourself? It's because there's a voice in the back of your head that knows what you want to be and what you want to do, but you're not there yet. You're struggling, and that sucks. You know, it sucks, and it can take a while to get where you want to go. But the fact that you hate yourself means that you know there's somewhere for you to go to, you know? You know that life has more, and you can just learn to work with that voice that's hating yourself. Stop talking to yourself horribly and start working with that voice. Understand that it's just wanting you to do what you want. Like, I do want this stream to be a place to just chill and have haha funny moments, obviously, but also, it's definitely an issue close to my heart. And I think we're all dealing with it in some way. Some struggle with it more than others, obviously, myself probably being one of them. But I wish there was more of a dialogue about it, because I feel like people who play a lot of video games, like a video game addiction, someone in chat saying gamers unite, and I know you're being facetious, but I feel like having a video game addiction is like, they are industrial people. They're hardworking towards goals that just don't matter. If we could only work together and, yes, gamers unite, redirect some of that industrial, like, goal-seeking nature into things that benefit us and those around us, I think the world would be a better place. Of course, we also should be playing hella video games. Let's be real. Gamers unionize! This guy got it. He's the means of dopamine production! Word, oh my god. We're going to take over Blizzard. We're going to remake Hearthstone. He's saying his prayers! That is literally the best use for that taunt I've ever seen. It's the best use for that taunt ever. No way that taunt has ever been used in a more fitting fashion. Video games both ruined my life and made it everything I ever wanted it to be. Venus. Venus just asked me to give him a hand. I don't know. This is getting a little bit past PG-13. That's why I'm here, right? It's because I care a fucking lot about video games and winning them and losing them and everything in between. And this guy, I care a lot about this guy. There's so much to care about in this world. I'm tired of this world. The first way to deal with emotions and the fact that so this is a masterclass in dealing with emotions, my friend. Right now, I feel angry. I feel cheated. But there's two ways to handle this. The first way is the dismissive way, which is saying, that was bullshit. This game is stupid. That guy probably had crit hacks on. It wasn't my fault. None of that was my fault. Or the other way to handle how much I care is to say, you know what? I did kind of eat a rocket to the fucking face. And I think if I were to do it over again, I would reposition myself so I was on the high ground and not eating a fucking rocket to the face. Yay, I got a big dopamine from that one. Medic, let's go farm some dopamine. Dopamine! Dopamine! No, 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 no! Ha ha ha! Dopamine. I come bearing dopamine. Greetings, medic. Ever heard of dopamine? Do it, do it, do it, bitch! Dopamine.